All right, and we are good to go.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Corey Wilhelm, the SUNY Libraries Program Manager. And on behalf of SUNY OER Services, I'm thrilled to welcome you to the SUNY OER Summit 2023. We hope this summit serves as a platform for practitioners from SUNY and beyond to exchange ideas and explore the latest innovations in OER. We're excited to be joined by colleagues from across the SUNY system and other outside institutions and educational organizations today. The summit features presenters from 10 different states, and we have audience members joining us from across the US and Canada, and a few from even further away. So over the next few days, we'll come together and hopefully share successful case studies, emerging trends, and game-changing approaches in the OER landscape. I want to just quickly thank the SUNY Center for Professional Development, and especially Megan Martin, for facilitating and managing the summit and the website, and the OER services team who made this event happen. So our agenda for the next few days is at that Zoom or at that link, and the Zoom links are in the PDF that should be in your email. For most of the conference, we'll have 2 tracks running in separate Zoom rooms, so you can choose which of the presentations to attend. And later today will be our keynote speaker, Dr. Cable Green, the Director of Open Knowledge at Creative Commons. We'll have a lunch break each day and brief breaks between sessions as well. And for those in the audience who are unfamiliar with SUNY OER services, we're an organization, we collaborate with SUNY campuses and faculty to promote OER adoption for faculty and student success. And we do that through offering a catalog of over 120 ready-to-adopt OER courses. We offer user-friendly technology to support adopting, adapting, and building openly licensed course content. We offer networking between faculty and across campuses to advance open educational practices, and assistance and guidance in establishing sustainable OER programs, as well as OER publishing and research. And at this time, I would like to introduce the Director of Operations for SUNY OER Services, Tony DeFranco.
Thanks, Corey. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our first virtual OER Summit. As Corey mentioned, we offer a number of different services, but really early on, our focus was on saving students money, course materials, removing barriers. Those things are really still important, but in 2019, we began to shift our focus a bit. As Corey mentioned, we've got the Ready to Adopt catalog. We really put a lot of attention on community development, efforts to promote connections and collaboration. Also, sustaining innovation around OER and connecting to other initiatives on campus. We also really focus on digital learning. In addition to the catalog, we provide digital platforms for OER creation and efforts around open pedagogy. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to our colleague, Kim Scalzo. She's the Interim Senior Associate Provost of SUNY's Digital Innovation and Academic Services area. Kim.
Thank you, Tony. I really am going to just start off by introducing our Provost in charge, who's going to give some welcoming remarks. And then when she is done, I'll come back and say a few words. But I'm pleased to be able to introduce you all to Shahedi-Sandvik, who, as I mentioned, is our Provost in charge, a post that she assumed in December of 2020. So I've had the great pleasure of working with her for almost 3 years now. She also serves as SUNY's Senior Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation, and Economic Development. And the thing I'd like you to know about Shadi is, she is a faculty member at heart. She, spends her time in all the things that she does, thinking about things from the faculty and student perspective. And so she has been a real big supporter of what we do here in the OER work. And it's been a great pleasure to have her leadership and support over the last 3 years as we have gone through so many transitions at SUNY. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Shadi to share a few words. And Tony, are you sharing her slides?
I was not planning to, Kim.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. Let me go ahead and if you stop sharing, I will bring them up. Shadi, when you are ready to click through to the next slide, just let me know.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kim. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. Thank you, Kim, for that warm welcome. And it is true. It's really just very important to me. I still have students, although they're not undergraduate students necessarily, but still students. And it's very critical that what we do takes into account how they learn, how they respond to the changes that we make. And I know, I mean, having been at SUNY for the past SUNY system, I've been at SUNY for a long time, SUNY system, and being familiar with the impact of OER is immense. So hopefully as I go through the next couple of slides, we can highlight some of those. But thank you for joining us this morning. I'm very, very glad to be here and welcome you to the SUNY OER Summit. This year's event is the first one since 2019. And I know that our team is really glad to be reconvening the OER community for this year. I know that previous events were held in person, but in the spirit of openness this year, we decided that it would be most beneficial to the community to offer this as a free virtual summit that's open to everyone. So I'm so glad to hear that not only our SUNY colleagues are here. We are very glad that you're here, but also folks from outside of SUNY that are participating. In case you don't know, but we have about 300 people participating, which is just fantastic. I mean, for the first year after the 2019. So it's wonderful to see so many folks participating in the summit. Again, as I said, our SUNY attendees, but also many from across the country. So welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining us. We can go to the next slide, Kim. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let's just, as we kick off the summit, I wanted to take a moment to share with you some of the information on the impact of SUNY's OER initiatives. SUNY's OER work began in 2011 with campus-based efforts of individual faculty. Initially, it was supported by campus leadership, then funding from SUNY's Innovative Instruction Technology Grants Program. In 2017, SUNY OER Services officially launched with the first year of funding from New York State, which I am very glad to say it has continued annually. This funding supports SUNY-wide efforts to scale the OER usage with the goal of decreasing costs for students and improving their opportunities for success. And again, as you see some of the numbers, it's really impressive, just the amount of money that it has saved for students. Since 2017, I'm pleased to be able to say that SUNY's OER efforts have resulted in active usage of open educational materials at some level from 59 of 64 SUNY campuses. More than 844,000 students have enrolled in at least one OER course. Over 25,000 OER course sections have been offered by over 3,000 SUNY faculty, and over $90 million in course material cost saving for students. That's tremendous. I would like to offer my sincere thanks to the OER services team and to the many faculty and staff who put in hard work to make all of that possible. It is my hope that one day we'll see all of the campuses offering many, many OER courses. I mean, again, the impact is immense on students. So thank you. We can go to the next slide. This year, as we continue to move toward the new normal, we are hoping to help restart and re-energize OER efforts on our campuses. This past spring, we were happy to introduce the first of 3 years of OER impact grants to promote the adoption and creation of OERs in areas that will have high impact in the campuses. For example, in high enrollment courses, general education courses, and also to support diversity, equity, inclusion, and social justice in the curriculum. In a relatively short RFP period, we were very pleased to receive 54 proposals, and we funded 18 of these projects, totaling nearly $300,000. These funded projects include large-scale adoptions of OER courses for high enrollment classes, creation of new OER courses, and robust professional development programs that support OER adoption and open pedagogy. One thing that it's really important for us, and I'm so glad that it's a requirement of this program, is that OER projects are openly licensed so that they can be shared. Later this semester, we will announce the call for the next round of funding, which will total, again, impressive $500,000. Next slide, please. So finally, I would like to highlight how SUNY's OER initiatives are supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion. As some of you may know, this is DEISJ now is part of our general education, revised general education requirement, but also one of the 4 pillars of SUNY's, one of the 4 pillars that our chancellor has put forward and has challenges us every day to make sure that we take into account in all that we do. So this is demonstrated through various efforts in collaboration with our partner Lumen Learning. One example is through the catalog of OER content provided to SUNY campuses that has been updated with a DEI lens. Another is providing professional development opportunities that support student success by exploring evidence-based practices that recognize and build on the students' diverse experiences and strengths. This helps them to feel seen, respected, and included in the learning process. Our team will also be working with our newly appointed DISJ fellows to help them to identify OER content, to support their work, and to also encourage and promote the creation of new OER wherever it's appropriate. And I think with that, I am going to end my remarks and hand it over to Kim. And thank you so much again for being here today. I hope that just looking at the schedule in the agenda, that it's packed. There are wonderful programs, and I hope that you will take advantage of the programming and will participate. So enjoy the summit. Kim, back to you.
Thank you, Shadi. Thank you for being here this morning to help kick us off. What I wanted to just add to Shadi's remarks is, as we look to the coming year, what to expect and what are we going to be working on. So the first thing I want to mention is that we are we're working with the Carnegie Math Pathways group. Many of our campuses have participated in the Math Pathways initiative over many years now, and we are going to be working with that group to transition the content to open education resources. Tony and team have already been in discussions with them and with our folks in the Office of the Community College and Education Pipeline. And so look for more information later this fall on what that's going to look like and how that's going to be rolling out. We're really excited to be able to make that content and those opportunities available to more students on more campuses who want to take advantage of that. Also, with our partner Lumen Learning, the new Lumen One platform is being built with an emphasis around equity, and we have 4 courses that are being piloted in that new platform, and they include Introduction to Business, Introduction to Psychology, Introductory Statistics, and Quantitative Reasoning. So all high impact courses. So they will be piloted this fall, and there will be additional courses introduced next year, so be on the lookout for that. We are also working with our colleagues at the Open Learning Initiative at Carnegie Mellon University to develop new OER courses and update existing offerings with that DEI lens. They are also providing some professional development opportunities around learning engineering to improve course design for OERs. So more to come on that. And I think they're here actually at the conference as well. SUNY OER services, if you're not aware, over the last year with all the leadership changes, SUNY OER services has moved under what we now call as a new unit, Digital Innovation and Academic Services, which I've been leading. And that includes SUNY Online, the Office of Library and Information Services, our digital learning environment, and our academic innovation activities. Under that umbrella, we are identifying opportunities for improved collaboration with SUNY OER services that will hopefully make it helpful, also make it easy for campuses to take advantage of and promote OER. So a few examples of those are coordination between SUNY Online and the digital and learning environment to provide easy access and support from within Brightspace for the integration of OERs and other digital content. So we hope that that will get easier for folks as we get farther into the DLE. We also, as we think about the learning object repository in the DLE, one of the considerations is how do we support OERs across the system and how do we leverage that feature and functionality within Brightspace. We are also providing enhanced and more formalized support through the SUNY Online Help Desk around SUNY Create, which is a domain of one's own environment from Reclaim Hosting. And that will hopefully support better OER creation and open pedagogy. We know some campuses are embracing that already. Shadi mentioned a subsequent round of OER impact grants, and we are starting to work on that call already. The solicitation, review, and selection will be done as part of the Innovative Instruction Technology Grants process so that we can leverage that effort and recognize the synergies between IITG projects and OER initiatives. So it will also be more efficient for us and hopefully for you at the campus level as well. And then our colleagues in OLIS, the Office of Library and Information Services, are working with the DEISJ fellows to help them identify existing content to support DEISJ in the curriculum, as Shadi mentioned. We want to make sure they're also considering and looking at OERs, as well as the opportunity for new OER development where there may be gaps in the curriculum. So a lot of activity for the coming year, all of this to help promote and scale OER adoption across the system, ultimately benefiting our students and supporting their success. I want to end by acknowledging the work of the SUNY OER Services team, as Shadi did, not just for this event, but for the great work they do all year. They are a small but mighty team, and the work they do in support of campuses is incredible. I've known Tony and Corey for many years now, and I've been aware of their work. But over the last year, I've gotten to really see in up close and personal what the work is and how dedicated they are to this work and to supporting campuses. So to them and to all of you, really, I say thank you. So with that, I also want to wish you a great conference and say that I look forward to seeing you in some of the sessions later today and tomorrow. And back to you, Tony.
Thanks, Kim. And I'm going to hand off back to Corey.
All right. Thank you, Kim, Shadi, and Tony. I think we are going to have a fantastic summit coming up. We do have a little bit of a break here. So our first sessions will start at 9:30. We have in this room a session from Lumen Learning with Dr. David Wiley. And in our other Zoom room, we have a presentation from some faculty at Columbia University School of Social Work. So the Zoom links should be in the PDF in your email. And like I said, throughout the day, you can kind of pop back and forth with choosing whichever presentations to attend. And we will see you back in this room just before 1 o'clock for our keynote speaker, Dr. Cable Green. So thank you, everyone. Have a great conference. And thank you to all our presenters. And I'll see you later today.